Hey everyone, I'm Rob and welcome to the test drive. In today's video, we have the next modification for my BMW 440i. Now, if you haven't seen all the videos of this car, we've done a couple things to it so far. So the first modification we did was not even really much of a modification, but I hardwired my Max 360 radar detector to the rear view mirror and used a blend mount to make it look really seamless, very factory installed. Then the next modification I did was I paint protected the entire front end of this car. I didn't paint protect it. I had Buffalo Car Care paint protect this car for me because I plan on driving this on the track. I want to keep this car a long time. I want to obviously protect the paint. I don't want rock chips or any type of debris hitting this car. Then the most exciting modification we've done to this car so far was installing the BMW M Performance Power and Sound Kit. And what that did was it fully replaced the exhaust. This now has a valved exhaust. You can open and close the valves. And with the valves open, it sounds absolutely amazing. It's incredible. The burbles, the crackles and pops, it is so worth it. And then we also got a horsepower increase because of the tune that goes along with it. That's the power kit portion of it, and that bumped up the horsepower to 355 horsepower, 355 pound-feet of torque because I have the 6-speed manual. And that is what BMW claims, because from some of the dyno tests that I've seen, it looks like this car should be putting out over 400 horsepower at the crank and over 400 pound-feet of torque, which is absolutely incredible. BMW underrates these things so much for whatever reason, at least with the B58s. This inline single turbo 6-cylinder setup is absolutely amazing. But today we have the next modification on the long list of mods that I have planned for this car, and that is installing a carbon fiber spoiler on the trunk lid. And that is going to look sick. So the spoiler that I decided to go with is actually one of the BMW aftermarket spoilers. I want this car to look not stock, but I want it to look tastefully modified. I don't want it to look like I just got a bunch of parts out of a parts bin and just tacked them onto this car. And I want everything to look cohesive and match, and I want it to look really tasteful. So I decided to go with the BMW M4, one of the BMW M4 spoilers that BMW actually makes. And I think it is going to look really good, especially because when I got the MPPSK, I got the carbon fiber exhaust tips. So I think it's going to match really nicely with that. I don't think it's the last carbon fiber piece I'm going to put on this car. I definitely have a couple more that I want. So I think it's going to look really good. So I'm actually going to unbox it here for you. I'll show you it. And then I was just going to install it myself because I'm pretty sure it's just 3M double-sided tape. But my dealership actually said that they would just do it for me. So I'm going to have them install it because why not have a professional do it, even though this is super easy to do and everybody else on YouTube pretty much, would probably install this themselves. And I don't seem to do a lot on my own to my cars. I did hardwire the radar detector myself, though. That I did. I did not hire anybody to do that. But since they're willing to just do this for me, I figure I might as well just swing by and have them do it. But I'm going to unbox it for you here and show you. And it turns out I have an impromptu camera person because I just found my wife in the parking garage. So I was just gonna film this like POV style. It's really funny too how light this is. I saw this box because it came like yesterday when I wasn't home, and I picked it up thinking it was gonna be heavy, not realizing that this spoiler is carbon fiber and it basically weighs nothing. So, did you feel this box?
Yeah, it's super light. I didn't think it was ours when I found it.
All right. And we're gonna use a really handy method to open this box, which is my key. I love the fact that the carbon fiber weave matches up perfectly with the exhaust tips. This gap is weird. That doesn't seem correct at all. Best thing about this car is underpasses. It's awesome. So if you're confused and you're wondering why the spoiler that's on my car doesn't look like the one that I showed you in the beginning of this video, that's because it isn't. So it's actually been about 2 weeks since I filmed the first part of this video, and I learned something from that first spoiler that I ordered, which didn't end up making it onto my car. I admit that I made a mistake, and I'm sure there are gonna be comments that are gonna say that, you know, it's so stupid and what an idiot, and that's fine. I totally get it. I actually feel the same way, because the spoiler that I ordered was for the M4, like I said in the beginning of this video, and I, from what I read on some of the forums and just kind of my general thoughts, I guess, was under the impression that the M4 and really all of the 4 Series vehicles have the same trunk lid. Now, maybe not like the Grand Coupes or the convertibles, but I expect that at least the Coupes to have the same trunk lid. And from what I thought I read on the forums is that other people have put M4 spoilers onto their 440i's and 430i's. And it turns out that the spoiler that I ordered, which was a direct BMW product, an OEM spoiler, didn't actually fit because the trunk lid of the M4 is a little bit more angled. The top of it has a little bit more of an angle. It goes upward a little bit more. And I confirmed this when I was at the dealership, and obviously it wouldn't fit on my car. And then we went to one of the M4s on the lot, and it fit perfectly on that one. So I was very disappointed, obviously, and ended up returning the one that I bought. And because I bought it actually not from my dealership, I bought it from ECS Tuning, they took it back for a full refund, and that was really nice of them. So because the only aftermarket spoiler that BMW makes for the 4 Series is like this really small black lip that I just thought was not nearly as aggressive as what I wanted, I decided to go elsewhere. So I went to RW Carbon, where they had a few options for my 440i. And there was one that looks very similar to the M4 spoiler that I ordered, but then I saw this other one that was also aggressive, but not quite as crazy, and I liked it better. It was a little bit more toned down, but still carbon fiber. I decided to take a chance on it because my fear always with aftermarket products when they're not made by the vehicle manufacturer is that you're gonna have fitment issues, quality issues, and from what I've heard about RW Carbon, it sounds like their products are pretty good. It's actually about half the price of the one that I originally ordered. The original spoiler was like close to, I don't know, maybe $550, something like that. This one was not even $300. So there are a couple different options when you go to install a spoiler like this, because you certainly don't need to drill holes into your trunk lid, and I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that, even though there were actually like 2 or 3 holes in the bottom of this spoiler where you actually could, I guess, use screws to attach it to your car. But again, I wouldn't recommend that because you're actually putting holes into your vehicle. So a lot of people go the route of 3M tape, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It may not hold up that well if you're in a climate like where I am in Western New York, where you have pretty hot summers and you have extremely cold winters and you have such a variety of weather. It's probably not gonna hold up quite as well. It can fall off. So the guys at my dealership went the route of polyurethane, which is what they pretty much always use to attach spoilers to vehicles in the shop. The problem is if I ever wanna remove this, it's definitely gonna damage the paint. I probably will never take it off, honestly, but if I was ever to take it off, I would have to cover it with something or get the paint redone, which if you get any type of paint work like after the fact, it's never going to be as good as it was from the factory. But again, the reason I got the less insane spoiler was because I don't see myself ever removing this. I think it's a really good balance of something that's classy but also pretty aggressive. The sound is just ridiculous. There he is. Sneaky guy. Alright. He's actually got a really good spot over there, watching everybody come down this hill. So now that this spoiler is on my car, it makes me really want to continue modifying my 440i because I absolutely love the look of the carbon fiber. It actually matches the exhaust tips perfectly too, which is the first thing I did when I actually got the spoiler in the mail. Was I held it up to the carbon fiber tips, which are OEM BMW, and it's perfect. It's the exact same weave. So I want to add more carbon fiber parts to this car. I definitely want to get the carbon fiber mirror caps. I'm probably going to do that next. But then the other thing that I really want to do is I want to get a carbon fiber front lip for the M Sport front bumper. There is one that BMW makes. It's pretty expensive, but I like it a lot. It actually, I believe the way that it gets installed is it covers up some of the existing bumper as well. I'll show you a picture of it because it's not just carbon fiber on the lip. And I really like that. I think it looks really good. I don't know if I'll end up going that route. I want to look and see what else RW Carbon has. I may decide to go with just a lip. So we'll see. I definitely want to do that soon. And the more I modify this vehicle and add stuff to it, the more I realize that these 18-inch wheels are too small. I really want to get 19s, and I know exactly which wheels I want to get. Then it's just a matter of, do I want to keep these 18s, use them for winters, and then have the 19s, which are going to be probably more expensive wheels? Do I want to just use the 19s in the summer? So it's a couple of things I got to figure out there. For now, it's winter time, so I'm definitely not buying new wheels right now. And when I get the 19s, I'm definitely going to get summer performance tires, which is going to be amazing for the track. I'm also going to tint the windows here really soon, and at some point I want to get more power. This car is actually very fast, but I know what this B58 engine is capable of because I've seen what other people have done with it in so many other vehicles. So yeah, I like this level of power now. It's really awesome to see that because this is so underrated, it actually puts out at the crank over 400 horsepower. But I just know it's capable of so much more. So we're definitely gonna get more power. Now, before I close out the video, I just wanna say I know the upload schedule has been kind of weird because for a while there, I was uploading a new video like every 3 days. Then I didn't upload for almost an entire month when my wife and I went to Singapore and to Thailand. And since I've been back, it's been pretty much every week. So because it's winter, it's a little more difficult to film. I do have a bunch more reviews lined up. I just have to actually take the time and film them, which I can really only do that on the weekends. So I think it's gonna be definitely an upload at least every week, hopefully a little bit more frequently than that. But winter is gonna be over pretty soon. The days are getting longer, so I'm gonna have even more uploads coming very soon, and 2020 is gonna be a really awesome year because there's so much fun stuff planned, and there is a new vehicle coming to the channel probably in another week or so. And I have some specific plans for that because that's gonna be part of kind of a big life change that I'm going to be talking about in some future videos. If you've watched some of the videos from Singapore and Thailand on a Wander Affair, you may already know what's going on. If you don't, I'll be talking about it on here very, very soon. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my stupidity, and I don't plan on making any more stupid mistakes with modifying my vehicle, but you never know, things happen. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video very, very soon. Bye-bye.